PTSD is no laughing matter. And for me, it revolves around the word Taurus. I have traumatic flashbacks to my dad's ovoid-shaped family sedan from the early 90s. Those memories are gone though. They were squashed back in 2010 when Ford reinvented the Taurus. Now for 2013, it's even more muscular looking and it's got some great engines going on under the hood. For 2013, Ford has pumped the Taurus up even more with more muscular aggression. They've stretched the hood. This is wider looking. You've got this clean looking grille, the great lower fascia. You can equip it with the daytime running lights and these swept back headlamps. The whole package works very well to transform this from boring rental car family hauler to highway cruiser crusher. When you have a full-size sedan, you expect to have a full-size trunk, and the Taurus does not disappoint. It does disappoint by having no buttons for us to press to open this back here. You gotta take your key out of the pocket, hit the button, flip it open. There's also a button on the inside, but we'd still like to see something externally on the trunk to get this thing open. Once it's open though, we're happy because we could fit bodies back here, but we're not sinister. So we put groceries and we put other stuff that we want to carry. It's almost cavernous. I feel like if I shout the word Taurus, I'm going to hear it 3 days later as it echoes through the cabin. This is an excellent trunk for a full-size sedan. So how'd they get all that room in the trunk? Well, by making the second row here kind of an odd seating proportion for us. I'm all right, the seat's all the way back. I don't have to splay my legs out to the side, and the material here is really soft. However, it feels like I'm sitting in the second row of a stadium seating. I can see down on what's going on there, and it's a really weird sensation from back here. I don't want to be a backseat driver, but if I'm sitting this high up and I can see the road just as good as a driver, I'm going to start calling out lefts and rights and lane changes, and nobody wants to do that. It's just kind of an odd place to sit, but despite the angle, the seat itself is surprisingly comfortable. There's no bolstering, but there's great support, and that's a good thing on a long trip if you're stuck back here. We're sitting in a middle range Taurus here, and the cabin is actually nicely appointed. The seats look like they have bolstering, but they could use a bit more of it. I can feel myself sliding around once I'm out on the road. The support though and the comfort level are there. These are really comfortable, cushy seats. Now looking forward though, I've got a great view of the road from this wide windshield. Despite the surprisingly wide and muscular hood, it doesn't obstruct my vision. Ford has also decided to fit these bonus little elliptical mirrors on the side so you get greater view going backwards. Looking back though through the rear view, you've got great view. The rear view is nice and open, lets in a lot of light, and you can see what's going on back there despite the stadium seating crowd behind you. The big story with the 2013 Taurus isn't the tech that's available or the various option levels, it's the engine choices you have. You can start off with your standard 3.5 liter V6. It's got a little bit more horsepower, it's got a little bit better fuel economy than the outgoing model, but the better choices are the two turbocharged EcoBoost offerings. You can get a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine which pushes out 240 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. It's also good for 31 miles per gallon on the highway, which is quite a few ticks better than the competitor from Toyota, the Avalon. Now you can also step up to the 3.5 liter EcoBoost motor that gets 365 horse and 350 pound-feet of torque. That is the pavement crushing one. It gets about 25 miles per gallon on the highway, but it is a rocket ship. You'd have to step all the way up to that awesome SHO to get more power and more performance. It's a great deal. That one will cost you about $33,000, or you can go all the way down to about $26,000 for a base Taurus. The Ford Taurus isn't alone in the full-size segment though. There's some hefty competition out there. We just mentioned the Avalon, which is a bit more boring than the Taurus in both style, content, and gets slightly worse fuel economy, so scratch that off the list. But you've got tremendous offerings coming out of Detroit from GM right now. You've got the Impala coming up. You can also step down a notch and get the Malibu, which has been redesigned. You've got some heady competition out there. Ford is working hard to keep the engine choices up and the content up, and they're doing a good job of it. You're not going to go wrong getting the Taurus if you can't wait for what's coming out from Chevy. And if you're a dyed-in-the-wool, blue-blooded Ford fan, who cares about what Chevy's doing anyway? You're not going to wait for those. Just get the Taurus.